Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Laura Stapleton. I'm a faculty liaison here at Marsh University, and today I want to talk to you about how we can use artificial intelligence within our classroom to really help our students personalize the learning for themselves. So what is artificial intelligence? It's the technology that enables computers to simulate problem-solving human interaction and so forth. So we want to be able to capture that in education so that AI systems can learn from patterns, adapt these resources to individual needs. And it's this adaptation, it's this ability to work individually with the students that we want to take advantage of. So relevance in education, well, certainly I mentioned the personalization. It can tailor the learning experience to each student's level, need, and so forth. And certainly for accessibility, it makes learning or education much more accessible to a diverse learning population, depending on how they learn or what resources they might need. Now, personalization takes place in many forms, but tailored content is one. Certainly, customization of learning materials, whether that be difficulty level, pace, and so forth, is going to be beneficial to the student's progress. You know, in the classroom, I may have 32 students, and it's difficult to be able to see those trends. But if I work individually with the student, I can. But they can work at any time with the AI, and it will individually work with them when they're not in the classroom with me. Adaptive assessment, certainly if they're making the same type of mistake, then what I would do in the classroom is try to show them how to overcome that, and artificial intelligence will counsel them as well and reflect whatever knowledge and challenges that they are certainly having and help them overcome them. And automated feedback. I was very surprised at how supportive AI was in the students' learning, with information like, good job, keep going, you've got this, good, you're working hard, and so forth. And, whether you are working with someone or reading on the screen, it is helpful to have something acknowledge that persistence that you're working towards. Now, it's all about the prompt with AI. We want to develop a very quality prompt, and the prompt is just the information, the sentences, whatever it is that you're putting in to AI to help that it understand the context that you're working with. So you want to be as specific as possible, but really you could ask a very straightforward question or give very detailed instructions. But you do want to be specific. Act as if is helpful. So for example, if I wanted to say, describe this like a math teacher would, well, then that is something that it would do. But generally, I found when my students do just explain it or explain it like a math teacher, they're pretty similar. You want to be rich in detail with the scenario that you're working with, and you can certainly build on prior prompts, and I'll show you that here in a little bit, and give AI some guidance. Tell it what you do and you don't want so that it can understand the context that it's working with, and correct it if it's wrong. If it's leading you off in an area that you don't want to go into, then say, no, I didn't mean that. I wanted to go in this direction. Now, three ways I use AI in my classroom for personalized learning, and this is the first one, summaries. So if a student is absent and they wanted to understand about the topic that we covered, or if they were present and just don't understand it still after the lecture, they can create a summary or explanation of the mathematical topic that we covered. And again, I'm a math teacher, so most of my examples will be about math, or actually all of my examples will be about math. But, students have trouble with that. So sometimes they sit through a lecture and they still don't understand something. So with this, they can enter a prompt like, I'm taking a college algebra class at a university. So that gives AI a context. Okay, here's the level that I want to be at, or they want the information to be at, and it can then look at, okay, what typically is in a college algebra course, and explain quadratic functions to me. Now, this prompt you'll see when we go to the online portion is just all one big sentence or multiple sentences, but then you'll see the output of explaining quadratic functions. And I could ask a follow-up question if I wish, like if I didn't understand something that it displayed, I could certainly ask a follow-up question. The second way that I do it is practice problems. So as students prepare for exams. They typically ask me for practice problems, and it's something that I typically provide. But what if I provide 20 and they want more? So this is the way that they could use artificial intelligence to ask for really an endless supply of practice problems. So the prompt might be, I'm taking a college algebra course in university, create 10 factoring problems for me to practice without solutions. And it would give them 10 problems, and then they would work on it. And then the follow-up prompt would be, now show me the solutions. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, if it will show them solutions to problems, why don't they just use this to do a problem that I don't want them to see the answer on, maybe like a homework problem, or maybe something that they're supposed to be able to do independently. They could, but there's 100 other resources out there that will do the exact same thing. So AI is not doing something that an app would do for them or another product would do. There are many products that students can currently use right now to be less than academically forthright in their work. So this is not anything new. It's just I'm trying to, with my perspective of artificial intelligence, I'm trying to show the students or model for the students how they can use it to their benefit academically to learn. There's always going to be the person that wants to use it in a dishonest way, but I'm trying to show them how it can be beneficial to their learning. All right, so practice problems, they can generate as many as they want to before the test. And lastly, whenever they know a test is coming, it's like typically I say, okay, next week we've got a test. Some students struggle with how do they actually prepare during that week. So what we've started to do is individualize learning pathways. So for example, the prompt might be, I'm taking a college algebra class at a university, create a 7-day learning pathway for quadratic functions. And again, I'm just putting in quadratic functions. It could be anything. But this way, it will chunk it up into 7 equal parts, reminding them at the end to get a good night's sleep, hydrate, and so forth, that they've got this. But it helps them actually see, okay, what do I study? Now, if they get on day 3 and they don't understand what the individualized learning plan has, then they can do a summary of what that topic is that AI has suggested that they do. They've got the ability now to create practice problems. So it's kind of a full way that they can prepare for this exam. And how we used it last year was to prepare for the final. We didn't give it a 7-day. We just said create a learning pathway. For example, the second prompt, and that way they had all of the semester material brought forth for them that they could remind themselves. It was really a great learning tool because they saw the whole semester in this one output, and they could follow through and just work through that material. And that's what we did the last week of class, in addition to other things that we had within the classroom. So I don't let it be, I let it be an add-on if they wish to use it. All right, so we're going to go to the computer part, but I wanted to share with you the Design Center's email, how you contact them. This is the wonderful instructional design team. And if you have any questions about artificial intelligence, please reach out to them. And I also put my information in the top right. So now we're going to go to the online portion. I'm going to show you a little bit about Copilot, which is what we use here at Marshall. All right, everybody. So we're here at Copilot now, and I just want to show you a couple of those prompts. So first of all, you'll notice up here in the top right that I have signed in or logged in to Copilot. We definitely want to do that here at Marshall so that protects what we're doing from getting out. There are some safeguards in that. You'll also notice that we have 3 conversation styles. Since I'm in math, I chose more precise, but you can certainly choose whichever would fit your discipline. So let's do that very first one. So I'm in college, so I'm pretending I'm a student. At a university. So now AI knows why I need this. Can you explain linear equations? We're just, going to get something just to put it out there. Okay, so it's very happy. Sure, I'd be happy to explain it, exclamation point. So it's enthusiastic about this. It's showing me a little bit. Okay, it's showing me one variable. Notice that the equations are look like equations, and that's because I chose that precise. It actually really goes over two variables and slope-intercept form. So it's a very full explanation. So if a student was reading this, okay, they might see something that they want more information, like, okay, slope-intercept. Maybe they don't understand that. So can you remind me? Now notice, oops, let me type it. How to calculate slope again. So I'm having a conversation. I'm not saying again, I'm still in a college algebra class. I'm just responding. So we're still within the context of this college algebra university class that I'm talking to AI about. And so it says, yeah, absolutely. I'll remind you how to do that. And it's telling me. So there we go. Okay, so it's a very full explanation. Again, I like that the equations look like equations. So that's pretty much the summary part. You can have conversations. Now let's show you the practice problems. Can you give me 3? Okay, without solutions. So I'm the student and I want to practice this before the test because I've already practiced all the ones that my teacher has given me. Okay, so it's giving me 3 practice problems and it's reminded me of the formula. Love that. Okay, and it's reminded me of what x1 x2, y1, y2 mean, okay? And again, little smiley face. Now, also notice down here at the bottom, it's saying, can you explain how to find the slope-intercept form? So the student might want to know more, and it's prompting them with additional things that they might be interested in. So it's adapting to what I might be interested in, okay? So let's pretend I've done the problems. Now give me the solutions. Okay, so it's going to give me those 3 solutions for those problems. Again, reminded me of the formula. Love that. Showing me the work. Love that. Okay. All right. So that is how they could, certainly ask for problems on whatever topic that they want, or they can even ask for, something non-math related, summarizing things or whatever your discipline is, it can assist the student in that. Now, the last thing that I wanted to show you is about personalized learning. So create a learning plan for me to learn about linear functions, and linear equations. So students would have to know what these things are called, which helps with the vocabulary in, I have too big of a space here, but that's okay, in 7 days. Okay, so let's see what it gives us. Okay, day 1, understanding linear equations. Good, because that's where I would start. Day 2, graphing linear equations. So now they've got these prompts, understanding how to graph linear equations. So I could take that and put that in, summarize how I can graph a linear equation. All of these bullet points could then be brought into back into AI, and I could learn how to do each one of these individually. Day 7 is review and practice. Remember, understanding these takes time and practice. Don't rush through the material. Take your time to understand each. I'm reading down here at the bottom, each concept before moving on to the next. Good luck with your studies. Okay, and look, can you recommend any online resources? What are some real world applications? How can I apply these? So it gives a very full plan for the students. And again, this is just something that I'm trying to integrate so that students can take charge of their own learning, even through a tool that's on the internet. But I hope that you've learned something. I hope that you find this helpful. This is where I am right now with artificial intelligence. 6 months from now, I might be doing something different or I might have added to this, but I'm learning every day with about artificial intelligence. So I think it's important to have an open mind and just to, try to learn how to capture this tool and because our students are going to be using it and we want to make sure that we understand it and use it for good within our classrooms. All right, have a great day and I will talk to you soon.